Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Let's find out what's going on the Forex economic calendar today. So we got only the medium important and very important events of today. So what do we have? Overnight data, Tokyo core CPI in line with the expectations, 2.5%. BSC retail sales monitor at the level of 1%, which is worse than expectations of 1.6%. Japanese services PMI beats the expectations of 52.5 points with the 52.9 points whatsoever. Chinese composite PMI data didn't match, but the collection services PMI data from China are slightly lower than the expectations. The forecast was 52.9, the actual number is 52.5, which is even lower than the previous reading of 52.7. So services PMI a little bit down in China last month. We are still waiting for the data from the Germany. Germany services PMI are scheduled for release at 5 to 10, and at 10 o'clock we got the Eurozone composite PMI and the services PMI scheduled for release as well. There's composite PMI and services PMI data from the UK are scheduled for release at 10:30, and during the New York session we got the composite PMI and the services PMI both scheduled for release at 3:45. At 4 o'clock we got the factory orders and the ISM non-manufacturing PMI data. As you can see, this and global services PMI data are the most important events of today. At the end of the session, apparently at the end of the session, we got the API weekly crude oil stock data release, and this data release is scheduled for release at 10:30. So we will take a look at the oil chart today for sure. Nevertheless, because of the data from the Japan and from the China, let's find out what's going on the market. We'll start with the euro dollar as usual, and then we will switch to the Australian dollar to see what's going on. So the euro dollar 4-hour chart still looks very calm. The market keeps trading in between demand and the supply zones. As you can see, just recently the market was rejected from 1.0865 level. Another kind of a pin bearish haramish candlestick pattern and the sequence was made on a 4-hour chart around the 1.0867 level. Now we are testing the 50 periods moving average, roughly around 1.0847. If there is a breakout, then of course we will go lower towards 100 periods moving average at 1.0820, and then the demand zone. Momentum moving away from the level of 60, approaching the level of 50, right now 52.77 points. Yeah, so it's still positive, but not that strong whatsoever. The outlook for the euro dollar remains horizontal. We are waiting for the breakout. We are waiting for the trigger to initiate the breakout above the supply zone or below the demand zone. Let's find out what's going on the Australian dollar. There you go. So the Australian dollar is moving exactly as we expected. This is the recent chart of the Australian dollar, and we got this trend line that was apparently violated with this big 4-hour candle, but we went only towards the this is 100 periods moving average 6,532, and the market reversed. Basically we got very nice kind of a pin bar here, but it's not candlestick pattern because it's not in the right place on the sequence. We will move our trend line here, and you can see that right now we are trading of course below the trend line, and we just broke below the this level is even better, 6,490 technical support. Okay, so this is the yes, and the local low was made at 6,480. So our scenario was correct. We are still moving. If there's a breakout below this technical support, we can still move lower towards the swing lows located at 6,445. Momentum briefly moved above the level of 50. Now it reversed and now it's very weak, very negative. Bears are in charge of this market. Let me just fix this trend line just for the aesthetical purposes only. There you go. So this is it, and the trend line is done, and the technical support is done right now. It was a technical support, now it is local technical resistance, 6,486 apparently. That's the level. So outlook is bearish on the Australian dollar to the US dollar, and what is going on the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. The situation is almost the same, however the bounce was not that massive. The market was rejected from the level of let's say this is 6,107. We briefly traded just below the 50 periods moving average, right? And then the market was again pushed lower. The technical support was violated. However, we can move this technical support a little bit lower now. 6,072 pips, and this level was violated, so it looks like now we get only the technical resistance on this level again, and it looks like the market is trying to move lower towards the swings low, just as the Australian dollar. 6,044 pips is the next target for the New Zealand dollar. Momentum is weak, momentum is negative. Bears are in charge of the New Zealand dollar market. Please watch the reaction when the market will get to this level 6,044, next target. As I said, we are going to take a look at the crude oil. What's going on here? Well, we broke above the highs from the 20th of the February, located at 79.92. Local high was made above $80 per barrel. It's 80.84. So that's the technical resistance and the swing high, but there is a pin bar here. So when we look at this like that, from this kind of a perspective, you can see clearly that this market keeps moving higher, making higher highs, sequence of the higher highs and higher lows, which means that this market is basically trending, but it's not like a very impulsive, very massive trend, because from the $80.84 we already moved towards 78.17. So this is a quite significant drop here. Nevertheless, it's still lower than the drop in the previous correction. Let me just take the price range tool, because the previous correction was, let's say, minus 5%, and the one that we are looking at now is not that big. I guess it will be roughly around 3% or something like this. This is during the newest data, 3.30%. So there's still some room to the downside, and the downside outlook is being preferred right now, mostly because the momentum, which broke below the level of 50 after the breakout below 78.44, now it's negative, it's weak, and it's pointing to the south. So we should expect another movement lower on the crude oil. Next target 77.81. This is the 100 periods moving average, and then eventually the lows from the 26th of the February, 75.84. This level cannot be violated in order for the market to continue the sequence of the higher highs and the higher lows and continue to rise a little bit higher even after this very nice downtrend was completed. So that's the first swing, second swing, third swing, fourth swing, and all of them are higher highs, and of course we got the sequence of the higher lows. So we cannot break below this, because the sequence will be invalidated, and then something else might be planned for the crude oil by the market participants, most likely to the downside. And last but not least, Bitcoin is going up, and the next target for bulls located at the I wanted to move the label. Nevertheless, the target for bulls was 69,000. Let me just find out whether this can be. There you go, and my line is on the highs. 68,834 is the next is the latest high on the for the bulls on the Bitcoin. Now we got some sort of the profit taking. We got bearish engulfing pattern. So we can take this labeling here and just change it to the bearish engulfing. There you go. So we got the bearish engulfing pattern, and we should be prepared for correction to come. The local low is 65,233. So this is already roughly around $3,000 on a 4-hour chart. And please, all of the bulls to get this note. Notice that the situation is very, very interesting. The market is coming off the recent highs, clear bearish engulfing, bouncing from the 150 periods moving average on a 4-hour chart. If we break below 65,223, next target is 64,261 and even 63,694. For now, a little bit of the pullback. Maybe it will become the fully blown correction. The market of the Bitcoin has been moving up like no tomorrow, so please stay alert, stay focused. The Bitcoin is still in the uptrend, but maybe some kind of a deeper pullback is now in progress on Bitcoin. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.